process approach? Process approach include establishing their business organization processes to operate as integrated and complete system. In addition, our organization dating of process approach operate their business as a system of procedure rather than development, people, or products. To further discuss what is process approach, let us move on to the process model. A process model visualizes business process and allowing firms to better understand and manage their internal business procedure. This is usually a flexible exercise for ongoing development. There are three elements of process approach. These are input of the process, output of the process, and lastly, process or task. And now let's talk about what is input process. Inputs are any resources in this to create goods and services. It is a process to achieve a successful result. There are various inputs we must consider. These are bill of material, specification for each material, requirements for inspection for incoming material, and lastly, procedure for the receipt of the material.
After the input, here comes the output of the process. This is vital in every process because it is the segment where specific product and result that you will expect will be produced by the process. This contains the following. First, the product or services to be delivered, which serves as the final output after the input and the process. Second, documents to be delivered. This is the heart of many critical process because they rely on the output delivery that helps to minimize the business risk. Third, the specification for all the above. This serves as a guide in detailed and precise presentation of the products or services. Fourth, method of measurement for verifying conformance to specifications. This enables to know how well the product or requirements in achieving the standard, such as the measurement. Fifth, criteria for acceptance or rejections. After the following requirements and standards they have followed, there will be a final evaluation of the products or services, whether they will accept it or reject it. Part of this approach is the most popular process model, the ETX model, where E stands for entry, which the condition to be fulfilled and be satisfied before doing the actual task is undertaken. This helps to see the whole plan, ideas, and concept which they need to expect. Next is task, where the value-adding process must be created. This is also part of the input will transpire into an actual product or services. The last part will be the exit, where the condition of the products or services will be fulfilled and completed. However, this must be evaluated first before releasing into market to prevent from customer dissatisfaction and disappointment.
Since 1991, the author has been hiding in Chennai, which is the testing and collaboration service provider of offering services to more than 700 organizations in a year. Also, there was a 6S for processing improvement. Here is the 6S processing improvement with their definitions.
Standardized simply means that every employee performs the process in the same way at all times. They have an established and time-tested process to use, and its goal is to ensure uniformity in certain practices within the industry. The simplified process should be documented in any form suitable to employees. The next one is synergize. There is no process in any organization that is considered a standalone activity. A process may interact with at least two other processes, which may be the customer and the supplier processes. The impact of simplifying should be analyzed. The customer and supplier processes should be adjusted if needed, and it should be documented. Therefore, it is significant that the effect of revision and other processes is checked properly. Lastly, strengthen means educating and convincing the process owners, customers, and suppliers. It includes periodic counseling and assuring that the new process will perform better than the old process. Also, it monitors the results and confirms that the process has occurred.
Supply chain management deals with how businesses turn raw materials into finished products and then transport and distribute those products to the consumers. It is a system that link businesses to their suppliers, allowing them to produce and distribute goods and products. Further, let's take a look at the following activities involved in supply chain management. As part of the supply chain management, demand planning is the process of forecasting future demand and optimizing corporate production based on those projections. In order to effectively estimate demand patterns, effective planning often necessitates the use of demand forecasting techniques, which has the additional benefit of increasing corporate efficiency and improving customer satisfaction. On the other hand, supply planning encompasses the full process of planning distribution, production, and procurement operations in response to the demand estimates, taking into consideration the capacity limitations and material availability. When a demand plan is in place, supply planning is used to determine the most efficient means of meeting those needs, which is a part of supply chain management. Therefore, supply and demand must be balanced to meet the company's financial and service goals. In manufacturing, planning and scheduling production is the process through which all production operations are planned or scheduled on a timetable for a period of time. It covers the sequential planning of manufacturing operations, such as the procurement of input commodities, investment, and labor for a given period of time. Lastly, when it comes to supply chain, transportation refers to the flow of items from one point to another, which begins at the warehouse and ends at the customer store with the placement of an order.
Kanban is a Japanese word that's means cyber. It's a way to give information between process, workstation, customers, and supplier. The Kanban system was developed by Taichi Ono, a businessman and industrial engineer for Toyota Automotive in Japan. It was created as a simple planning system, the aim of which was to control and manage work and inventory at the stage of the production optimally. The Kanban card containing all the information required for the job to be carried on a product at stage along its path to completion and which parts are needed to be subsequent processed. The Kanban card used to control work in process, production, and inventory flow. Kanban system allow company to use just-in-time production and ordering system which allows them to minimize their inventories while satisfying customers' demand. The use of Kanban brings the following benefits. First, it gives right the information to all the processes. Second, it's a visual way to control the production. Third, limit the work in progress. And lastly, to avoid overproduction.
The withdrawal or conveyance Kanban system is concerned with the movement of items and components. Whether the company produces physical or digital products, different parts of it needs work done by different teams in different areas. And when one team is finished, the part is transferred to the next team and production area. For that purpose, teams use withdrawal cards or movement cards to alert people that an item is finished and ready to move from one section to another. When the team is ready for more work, they send the withdrawal card to the previous section, signaling they are ready for more work. Also, the card usually specifies the number of items that need to be taken to the workplace where they are needed. Production Kanban. It is made up of an exhaustive list of all the things needed by the part so that it's completed. This brings in the requisite materials and parts along with the information that a withdrawal Kanban includes. A production Kanban allows the production system to start with the production and also explain the things that should be produced. The production Kanban card should have the following information: material required as inputs at the preceding stage, parts required as inputs at the preceding stage, and information pertaining to withdrawal Kanban as given in the previous paragraph.
Failure manufacturing demands is a single-piece flow methodology. This is also called one-piece flow or continuous flow manufacturing. It is a technique used to manufacture components in a cellular environment. Here, the production workstations and equipments are arranged in a sequence that supports a smooth flow of materials and components through the production process with minimal transport or delay. Implementation of this lean method often represents the first major shift in the production activity, and it is the key enabler of increased production, velocity, and flexibility, as well as the reduction of capital requirements. A cell is an area where everything that is needed to process are within easy reach, and there is no part that is allowed to go to the next operation until the previous one has been completed.
Single-piece flow. This is also called one-piece flow or continuous flow manufacturing. It is a technique used to manufacture components in a cellular environment. A cell is an area where everything that is needed to process the part are within the easy reach, and no part is allowed to go to next operation until the previous operation has been completed.
Flow manufacturing versus batch production. Larger production builds delay into the process. No item can move on to the next process until all the items in the lot have been processed. The larger the lot, the longer the items sit and wait between process. Larger production can lower company profitability due to the lead time between customer product to delivery of products is lengthened. Labor, energy, and space are required to store and transport the lot. The chances for product damage are increased. One-piece flow production can help in solving this problem.
How a single flow chart is advantageous. As you can see in the illustration, both the batch and continuous flow processing, it It only takes 1 minute manufacturing one part in continuous flow processing, but in the batch processing, 10 batch are manufactured at the same time. Therefore, each process takes 10 minutes for processing, and the first piece will only come out after 21 minutes, and it takes 30 minutes for fabricating 10 pieces, contrary to continuous flow processing that will only take 12 minutes for the first piece to come out.